I'm going to show you a really easy meal that you can make, which is absolutely fantastic for kids' lunches, especially with all the allergies on the go these days. You can change up any of this for meatloaf muffins. These can be frozen. You can make, like, I'm going to make a batch here now that'll make 2 dozen small muffins, or a dozen like really large muffins. It's a great way to get the kids to eat lots of veggies. Easy to pop in a lunch. You can just, when you make these up, after they cool, you can put 4 per freezer bag and pop them in the freezer and just thaw them out. They actually, we eat them cold. They're so good. So this is going to be a sort of a long video because I'm going to take you through how to do it all and the substitutes that you may want to try. It's really just mostly your preference. I'm going to take you through right until I pop them in the oven. What you will need is about 12 cups of unground up vegetables. So when it's finished, it'll be about 8 cups of ground up vegetables. Today I'm using 2 packages of organic mushrooms. I'm using the little small carrots from the garden that you would just use for stew, and I don't even peel them. Just scrub them and wash them. I have 1 onion, celery, 8 stalks of celery, 1 green pepper. Pick whatever are your favorites. You don't have to pick the same ones as me. Just the only thing I recommend is not to use tomatoes because tomatoes froth up and they'll make the muffins really damp, so that's not good. But, you know, if you have zucchini or pretty much any root vegetables that you like, you can put sweet potatoes, carrot, whatever you like. So what we're going to do here, all I have is the regular blade attachment on the food processor, and it's not dirty. That's just stained up from, this was actually my husband's grandmother's. So it's years and years of use and abuse. Okay, so what we're going to do, and this is going to be noisy, so I hope you can hear me, but all I'm going to do is essentially pop these vegetables in, and it's going to take a few times because this is not big enough to hold all the vegetables. So I'm going to start it going. Start popping the mushrooms down in. So they should all be of like a ground meat consistency. You can just pull it away from the sides there. Just make sure it's going really well. Alright. So we'll take this container off. There we go. And I have a giant bowl. That's another thing you'll probably need if you're going to make a lot of them. And so I'm just going to dump what we have here into the bowl, which is just the ground up mushrooms. And it almost looks like meat. It's pretty neat. See in there? Pretty much looks like meat. Alright, so I'm going to, don't need to wash it or anything like that. Just pop it back on. Sorry for all the movements. I'm trying to move the camera around with the tripod attached. And then we're going to do these veggies. Alright, so I'm going to start popping in carrots. Okay, don't want to overfill it. So we're going to dump this one again. If you see any big chunks, just take them out. They can pop back in again. Alright, so that's that. There we go. And back to it again. Put the top back on. Make sure this is sitting. Let's just see, and they're pretty much ground up. Sorry about this. I know some people have some great camera equipment. I don't. So I'm doing the best I can. Alright, now, so we have the approximately 8 cups of ground up veggies. And these are absolutely delicious. Everyone who's tried them love them. And like I said, if you need the breakfast options, a lot of people don't know what to eat for breakfast. These are also fantastic because you can just take one out the night before, put it in the refrigerator, And just let me see if I can tilt the camera down a little bit more. You can put it in the refrigerator, and when they thaw out, you can just eat them for breakfast. So we're going to mix all this around, which is 8 cups of ground up veggies. Mine, if there's a few little chunks in there. And now, to that, I am going to add 2 eggs. However, if you can't eat eggs, add 2 tablespoons of ground up flax seeds with 2 tablespoons of water. And that's a good substitute for eggs in almost anything that you're baking where you need a binder. So that's 2 tablespoons of ground up flax seeds and 2 tablespoons of water. But I'm going to use 2 eggs. So you can also use 2 eggs. I recommend you use grass-fed, free-range organic eggs. And we'll mix them around in here. I'm also going to use oregano. You use whatever your favorite spices are. And for this amount, I'm going to use like a hefty fist. We'll say, I don't know, probably 3 tablespoons of oregano. It depends on what your kids like and what you like. And the Celtic salt, for this amount, this is going to be, like I said, 2 dozen. So I'm probably going to put in a tablespoon and maybe a tablespoon plus a teaspoon. Now this is my everything spice, which I absolutely love the flavor of, and I love it on everything. So I'm going to add in, you add in whatever flavors you like. You can mix up the type of meat you use. You can do vegetarian ones from time to time. You can use, if you have organic ground chicken or ground turkey or ground beef or pork or whatever it is you like. Anyway, so again, you can put in whatever spices you like. I'm putting in about 1/4 cup of my favorite spices, which is my everything spice. And all of these spices come from Mountain Rose Herbs, and they're all organic. So as you look at this here, it almost looks like a minced meat on its own. And I see a big old chunk of carrot in there. So that's no good. We don't want that. I'll save that for soup later because I'm putting on a pot of soup here now. Alright, so once we have that done, what I have here is about 1 cup of a mixture of oats and sesame seeds. However, you can use any dry matter. You can use coconut flour. I just ground it up in a coffee grinder, as you can see. You want 1 cup of, you can have ground nuts, ground sunflower seeds, any type of ground seeds, nuts, or flours, whatever kind of flour you like. So I have organic oats and sesame seeds ground up in this. I'm just going to add that in, 1 cup. So we're going to add that in. And now I have 2 pounds of ground beef. If you want to do a vegan version, use 2 pounds of cooked mashed lentils. If you want to change these up and have a variety of muffins frozen up, you can, like I said, you can use any kind of meats you like, or 2 pounds, 2 pounds of any kind of meat or ground lentils. And now we're going, this still has a little bit of frost in the middle of it. And this is great for the kids to get involved with because they can choose, or either you can keep it secret and don't tell them what's in it because it's going to be just like meat when it's all done, or you can let them choose what they want to have put into their meatloaf muffins and get them involved in it, in the process. So it all depends on the type of kids you have. And I like to glaze the tops of mine, and how I glaze them after they're done when they're cooked. About 5 minutes before I take them out of the oven, I make a glaze of organic honey and mustard. You can put a little bit of ketchup in if you want. And then I put about a teaspoon on the top of each one. About 5 minutes before I take it out, I'll just pop them on broil. And then I'll take them out of there. And it's just like, almost like a cupcake because they have a nice sweet mustardy glaze on the top. So we want to incorporate all of the meat into that. Get it mixed all around. There we go. And that's it. Now, all you're going to do, oh, I still see a few pinkishy spots. I got too much meat not mixed through. So get it all mixed through, incorporate it really good. we can't seem to keep these, so you want to make a big batch like this, because I try to freeze them up, and then you know, if you want a quick meal when you get home, you can take them right from the freezer and pop them in a toaster oven to thaw them out if you like, or you can take them if you think ahead and take them the night before, put them in the fridge, and after they're cooked and frozen. Alright, so now I have muffin tins here, and sorry for the look of my muffin tins. These are actually real tin tins. They're old-fashioned ones, so they have a little bit of rust and they don't look the greatest. Now, if you want to be extra cute, you can line each one of these with a muffin liner, and that's even greater for the kids. They'll probably love it that way. I'm not going to. So all I'm going to do now is make a big meatball. Now these will not rise, so you want to fill your cups. So you make your big meatball, pop it in there, and that's it. So when it's all done, when your muffin tins are all filled, it'd be great to do an oven full of them, because you're going to love them. Pop them in the oven and bake them on about 350, 375, depends on your oven, for, if you're doing 2 dozen, I would say half hour, 45 minutes. You'll see when they're done, they'll look nice and brown. Then, like I said, 5 minutes beforehand, take them out, glaze them. You can just, with a spoon in a small bowl, you can mix some mustard and honey 50-50, and put a nice little glaze of mustard and honey, or mustard, honey, and ketchup if you like, on the top of each one. And then pop them back in the oven on broil for less than 5 minutes, and until that glaze gets nice and caramelly on the top. And that's it. I'm just going to put in the 6 here. I'm going to do the rest of them now. Pop them in the oven. Sorry for the lighting. Glaze them, and like I said, fantastic, healthy, pretty quick and easy snack you can make. That's a great lunch, a great breakfast. You can pretty much eat them anytime. You're getting a whole cooked dinner in one little muffin. All these veggies, and like I said, put in whatever you like. It's pretty much all you need is a binder, which is either eggs or your flax seeds, then some kind of dry matter, which could be ground oats, to, if you didn't want carbs, you can do ground nuts, ground seeds, whatever. A cup of that. You'll need some meat or meat substitute like lentils, and a whack of veggies, and that's it. You have very convenient meatloaf muffins that you can take anywhere with you, a trail snack, kids' lunches, breakfast, any time of the day. Thanks for watching.